Analyzing means that you never have to risk anything. If you're just thinking, you feel like you're doing something, but you don't have to risk choosing something wrong. So your overthinking keeps you stuck, but your brain thinks it keeps you safe. But while it keeps you safe, it's actually costing you more than you realize. Hi, friend. Welcome to the Scaling Therapy Practice. I'm James Marland, your course creation coach. I'm here to help therapists who want to scale their reach with effective online courses. I'll share with you all the tools, tips, and technology I've learned along the way that will help you put your mission in motion. Hey, just a quick note before we begin. Have you ever thought about launching your own CE course, but you never got started, or you got stuck in the technology or the process or the steps or the requirements? I have a solution for you. On Thursday, June 26, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we're having a course idea to paycheck workshop. By the end of the workshop, you'll have addressed the common fears and mental blocks holding you back. You've chosen a CE topic that aligns with your niche and what your audience actually needs. You're going to learn to design a course that keeps learners engaged and meets accreditation standards. And you're going to have access to templates and frameworks that get you started fast. This workshop is going to be hosted by Leo DeBrock. He's from Counselor's Choice Award. He's written many CE courses and has years of experience publishing successful courses. You won't want to miss it. Go to coursecreationstudio.com/idea to paycheck to register for this workshop. Today we're going to talk about escaping the overthinking trap. Now, as a professional therapist, somebody who helps people, when it comes to earning extra money from your experience and from your therapy practice, you might feel like there's a lot of choices. Like there's a crossroads with 1,000 different options for you to do, and you're not sure if any of them are good or will pan out. Do you hire staff? Do you raise your rates? Do you just take on more clients and work more? Write a book? Build a course? Teach an intensive? Hold a group gathering, a conference? You release a podcast? Teach at a college? With your expertise, there's almost an unlimited number of things you could do to share your knowledge that you could earn some extra money on. If you're anything like the experts I work with, you know you're called to do something great. You're called to help people. You're called to do something bigger, and people need your experience. But when it comes to taking steps to do those things, you might get stuck because every choice you make, every path you take has a cost. Every decision costs something, right? Like time, it costs your time, it costs money, it costs opportunity cost, which is the things you could have done that you didn't do. So if you build a course, you're not going to see as many clients. That's opportunity time. Then there's money, investment, energy, attention. And when you add up all these things, honestly, you're already maxed out, you're already full, you're already tired, and it's hard to move forward. And that's what overthinking and overgeneralizing does. It keeps you safe, but it also can keep you stuck or can keep you comfortable but not growing. And today I want to show you why overthinking isn't just laziness, it's actually fear in disguise. And why it feels like overthinking feels like you're doing something, like you're accomplishing something, you're working through the options and you're analyzing things, but you're really not getting anywhere. And we're going to learn to choose progress over perfection. So let's dig into this. Overthinking isn't laziness, it's fear in disguise. It reminds me of the time overthinking. I always go back to this when I think about overthinking. It reminds me of the time where I had to pick out a screwdriver at the hardware store. And I went in and I just needed a simple screwdriver I think I was doing some electrical work. But when I got to the tool aisle, there was rows and rows of screwdrivers. Some were special with lots of tools and tips that you could put in. Some just was a package of 5 or 10 screwdrivers. And then there was just this sole lonely screwdriver that was by itself that was cheaper, and all of them had different costs. So I just sat there and looked at them I was like, what screwdriver do I buy? Like, which one's going to give me the most bang for the buck? Will I need 10 different screwdrivers? Will I need the one with the different tips? There was fancy ones, cheap ones, bells and whistles. And I just analyzed, will I use it? How much will it cost? And I just stuck there. And sometimes when this happens, my wife is like, why were you at the hardware store for 30 minutes or an hour for a screwdriver? Like, what were you doing? And I just get frozen sometimes, even with some of these simple decisions. And all the time while I was thinking about buying the screwdriver, I wasn't getting the job done. So all I needed was one screwdriver that worked. And so what I ended up doing is buying the one that was specifically for the job of the electrical job that I did. It had a little bit of insulation. It was a little fancier. It had some tips that I could swap them out, but it was good. And that's how some life decisions work in life and in business. The more we think, the more we sink. And while analyzing the decision to buy the screwdriver kept me safe, I wasn't doing any work while I was doing it. I wasn't making any progress. Brianna West says it best in The Mountain Is You. She says, your coping mechanisms aren't built for growth, they're built for survival. And man, that really hit me because overthinking keeps me safe. It keeps me in the safe zone. It keeps me out of danger because going out and doing something new feels dangerous. You know, hiring new staff feels dangerous. Uh, Building another building feels dangerous. Making a course and choosing a different, working for yourself feels dangerous. And endless analyzing means that you never have to risk anything. If you're just thinking, you feel like you're doing something, but you don't have to risk choosing something wrong. So your overthinking keeps you stuck, but your brain thinks it keeps you safe. But while it keeps you safe, it's actually costing you more than you realize. Because overthinking feels like movement, but you're really not going anywhere. Somebody once explained it to me like this: overthinking is like sitting in a rocking chair. You're moving, you're expending energy, you feel busy, but you're really not moving forward. It's comfortable to stay busy. It's comfortable to feel like you're doing something, and it feels safer than taking a wrong step. But in the end, you're not moving. I think the example I have here for me right now is LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a tool that most people have access to, and for me, it's just sitting in my toolbox. I'll post here and there, but really without a plan, without traction. And I kept thinking about getting help. I kept thinking, I know there's people on LinkedIn who are using it to build a network and reach their audience. And that's where I want to be. I don't want to be on, Instagram where I have to do silly dances. I don't want to be on Facebook where there's all these ads. I want to be on the platform where there's entrepreneurs and co-working people and people to network with. So I think about getting help. I think about buying a course. Then I hesitate because really, the courses cost more money than I really want to do, and I just think about it and think about it. But I realized, and this is one of the tips I'll provide later. I realized I'm 80% sure that I need help and accountability. I'm 80% sure that LinkedIn is going to be a major part of my networking and marketing. I'm 80% sure that the person I'm going to, well, I'm more than 80% sure. I'm more than 80% sure that the person I'm talking to knows what she's doing and can help me. So with all those things, even with all the unknowns, I bought the course. And guess what? That cleared my mind. Instead of getting stuck, instead of rocking and rocking and rocking with the decision, I actually made a decision and I stood up and I moved towards a direction that I believe will help me. And it clears your mind. Like when you make a decision, it clears your mind. Now, instead of spinning my wheels and just not having a plan for LinkedIn, I'm getting some clarity. I have momentum. Believe me, it's not perfect. I'm not a super fan of producing content. I'm not a writer. How about that? I'm not a writer, but it's progress. Um, and you got to remember that busy is not the same as progress. Busy is not the same as moving forward. Doing activity is not progress. Motion is not progress. You might think you're protecting yourself. You might think that making all those checklists and analyzing things and doing all that research is going to make sure you absolutely don't make a mistake. But the real mistake is just staying stuck and not taking action. Um, when you take action, you get clarity, confidence, and momentum. So the antidote here is progress over perfection. Imperfect, massive, imperfect movement. You don't need the perfect map. You don't need the perfect plan. You actually just need a direction to go, a compass to go, and the courage to move. So here are 7 practical tips to help you break free from overthinking. Number 1 is just start with what you know. Ask yourself, what do you need? What do you know for sure right now? And what you do is you just do the next thing. So if you were going to, if you had to go wash your car, what would be the next thing you would need to do? Well, you might need to locate a car wash. So the next thing you need to do is open up Google Maps or whatever map program you use and type in car wash and just write that down. And so you know the next thing you need to do, you've broken it into a step, and you know that the absolute next thing you need to do is is find that car wash. Now it works for bigger things too. Let's say you need to hire a new therapist. Well, what's the next thing you need to do with hiring a therapist? What's the absolute, like, hiring a therapist is a big deal. There's a lot that goes into it, but what's the absolute first thing you need to do? Maybe it's write a job description, or maybe it's even before writing the job description. Maybe it's define their tasks or their role. So what's the absolute first thing you need to do? Start there. The next tip 2 is apply the 80% rule. I love this rule. It gives me an anchor to go to. If you're 80% sure, that's enough to move forward. And you choose progress over perfection. You're building a raft, not a yacht. This 80% rule works for me. I like 80% because I'm not a super risk taker, but maybe your tolerance is 70%. Maybe your tolerance is, you know what? If I'm 70% sure I'm going to move forward, that means 30% of the time I'm probably going to make a mistake, but I'm okay with that. What's your tolerance level? The next tip is done is better than perfect. Today I'm behind on my podcasting. I need a haircut. I'm probably not going to get all my social media out for this podcast. I'm just a little bit behind. I've been on vacation 2 weekends in a row, but I'm going to get a podcast out. It's not going to be perfect. There's going to be some mistakes, but it's going to get out there. Done is better than perfect. The next tip, I've forgot my numbering here, is just trust yourself. Trust in who you are. Like, your mind might tell you you're not good enough. Who's going to listen to you? Why should you be hired? Why are you a manager? Why are you a leader? Why should you hire that person? Why should you teach that course? Listen listen to what you know about yourself. You are an expert. You have skills, you have overcome things, you've done great things in the past, you're going to do great things in the future. So trust yourself that you can course correct as you go. The next tip is set gentle guidelines. Just give your decisions a container to go with. Tell yourself that you're going to decide by the end of day or by Friday, or you're going to research it for just 1 hour. Sure, research might be your best quality because you're really good at it and it excites you, but give it a deadline so that your greatest strength doesn't also become your greatest weakness. Uh, Another tip here, last tip is accept that risk is a part of growth. Oh man, this speaks right to me because I don't like risk. I don't like making a decision that might be messy. Um, and if you don't make those messy decisions, you're not going to grow. Your brain wants to keep you safe. It wants to keep you from making those decisions. It doesn't care about your growth. And so it's very easy to not make those risky decisions. Every choice comes at a risk. Doing nothing is a risk. So growth happens when you move and you take those steps towards your goal. Remember, going back to my screwdriver store, you don't need 10 screwdrivers. You don't need the fanciest screwdriver. You don't need a package of screwdrivers. You don't need the cheapest screwdriver. You just need the right one. You just need a good one that does the job, one that fits the bill. Now this might sound a bit overkill, but this is one of the things that has really helped me over the last couple years is I set out a vision for my life. I wrote a eulogy. What would I want people to say about me? What would I want my family to say about me, my friends, my coworkers, the community at large? What are the good things I would want them to say to me? Not, in a morbid way, but as a way to picture where I want to go at the end of my life. What relationships do I want to cherish? The work I want to be known for, the people I want to impact. And from there, I built out some vision sheets, 10 years, 5 years, 1 year. What am I doing 10 years from now, 5 years from now, and 1 year from now? And I read those 5 times a week, probably. Then I have goals. From those sheets, I have up to 3 goals that I'm working on. Right now, I'm working on launching my cohort group because I want to help therapists and coaches and experts earn extra money with their expertise and stop burning out, and also help more people, put their mission in motion. So anyways, every day I read those things, and then I take out a daily goal sheet and I write down the 3 things that would move me closer to my goal. Now, I don't always get all 3 of them done, but at least by the end of the week, I've done at least 7 big things that will move me closer to my goals. And sometimes it's as simple as calling my mom because I want to have a good relationship with her. Or it could be as big as building a landing page for the new workshop that I'm doing. Uh, it's just one thing that I'm moving closer to my goals. It's not about doing it perfectly, but it gives me clarity. And it also helps me to stop overthinking because it helps me say, when decisions come up, is this part of something that I really want to do? Is this part of something that I'm heading for? Well, then if yes, it's an easy yes. If no, it's an easy no. That just keeps me moving forward. I hope that helps you. It really helped me. So here's what I want you to remember today. Overthinking isn't laziness. It's fear. It's a coping mechanism. It's your brain keeping you safe. It feels like moving. It feels like you're doing something, but it's really just a rocking chair. A lot of motion without any movement forward. Taking small steps, making progress, not focusing on perfection is how you break free. So just take one small step. What one small step are you going to take? What's one goal that you want to accomplish? And if you broke it down far enough, what's the very next thing you would want to do to accomplish it? Thanks so much for joining me on the show. Remember, if you have a tip that helps you stop overthinking, or if you liked one of these, post it on LinkedIn, put it in the article, or just message me. I'd love to hear how this is impacting you. Till next time, this is James Marland. It's now time to put your mission in motion.